Hey Cloud Gamers, so today I'm going to talk to you about Xcloud, or Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, or Xbox Game Pass Streaming, or whatever you want to call it. There is some strange issues, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about to start with. First of all, you can see this is the Xbox Game Streaming app, which is in beta, which was the closed beta. And then if we go across to the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which now has the cloud streaming, we'll notice that things like Destiny 2 is missing and Batman only has one title. If I go back to that Game Pass streaming app, you can see already that if I search for Batman that there is much more titles there, so very strange that they would remove those titles when going to the Xbox Game Pass. And you can see that Destiny 2 is still there, so it's almost like they're running two different apps or two different betas for these different systems. Normally you would expect that the beta would progress into a more production ready form and gain more functionality, not less. This continues with Halo. If you look in the game streaming app, Halo only has 3 titles here. But if we look in the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate app, even just for the cloud gaming stream, Halo has much more titles. I'm not sure why there's such a difference between the amount of games and what games are available between the two apps. As I said, you would have expected them to be the same. This means that comparing across all of the platforms is a bit more difficult, as Destiny 2 was always a good testbed for me. The things get a bit stranger when you look at one of the latest games that was released of Hellbound. This was one of the first games to have been released with touchscreen controls. Now you'll notice here I've sped up the footage quite a lot. It does take a couple of minutes to load. You'll see that they're fairly quick to that start screen, and in the game streaming app you have the touchscreen controls. However, once we hit the continue button to load the game, the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate version actually loads quicker. So have they removed the touchscreen controls to make the game load quicker? Or have they done something on the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate version to make the games load better? Either way, you lose those touchscreen controls or even the option of them. Even though in my testing the touchscreen controls have seemed to have improved on the game streaming app, they were pretty bad input lag wise. But on the bottom there you can see the PlayStation control input and the lag, and you can see that actually when the connection is good, that the touchscreen controls are okay. However, you will also notice that if the connection is not great, the touchscreen controls respond very strangely. So a lot still going on there. Moving over to looking at one of their main games of Gears 5, things are getting a bit better as far as load speed goes. Loading Gears 5 here in just under a minute to their kind of launch screen, but then getting into the actual game takes a fair amount longer. Sped this footage up because it does take a fair amount of time, and it's around 2 minutes 20 in total before we actually get some load screen. You'll also notice that I had a weird Wi-Fi connection icon that kept popping up, which told me that I was on a 2.4 gig Wi-Fi, even though it's a mesh system which always has the 5 GHz band. So still getting some weird connection issues with the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate version of the streaming, and just hopping off of the Wi-Fi and back on again cleared this. You can see the quality is actually pretty good. As I was playing Gears 5, as I skip through here to the tutorial section, the input lag was actually pretty slim, much better than it has been on the Game Pass streaming version, the Xbox game streaming version. You can see that once that icon disappears because I reconnected to the Wi-Fi, the picture does crisp up and the input lag is pretty much gone. So playing some of their native games that are available on the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate version of the app, even though it's still beta, is an improvement over the previous versions that we've seen. However, removing some of the games is not something I would have expected. and we can only hope that they improve. So you can see now I've reconnected to the Wi-Fi. Picture quality is a little bit better, but we still get a few of those stutters. Hopefully when they upgrade their hardware, this will improve. But at the moment, I would still say that Xcloud is lagging behind both GeForce NOW and Stadia as far as mobile streaming is concerned, and game streaming in general. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to Cloud Gaming Extreme. I'll leave you a little bit of footage here of the tutorial. This is Android gameplay on a Galaxy S9 and a 240 meg download connection on Wi-Fi. And I will see you next time.
You know what? This is kind of fun. Okay, let's wrap up this module with a cover mantra. Take cover in your Dave. Now, mantle up and over. Good. So, how you feeling, kid? You know, limbering up. Iris, activate the sprinting trench.
Certainly, Damon.
Running at full speed while keeping your head down does not come naturally to a bot. So let's show him how it's